Hey everyone, Reverend Lunch Lady here for Recipes for Love Dead Old Lady readings. And today we are here on January 31st, 2021. And if you're watching this after the live, no problem, because you will be able to get your answers here. So if you're drawn to be here, know that whatever question you have around love and dating, that your answer is in this recording, because that's how we plan it. So if we haven't met, I'm Reverend Lunch Lady, also known as Love Coach Macy. Say hello if you're joining. And today we're gonna we're just serving up some universal love wisdom. And we're here doing a process that is very sacred to me, which is recipes for love readings. And I like to call them Dead Old Lady readings, because we are using vintage recipes from multiple boxes from what you may have recognized in your grandma's kitchen. We're using these as the channel to receive messages around our love and dating questions. Hey, yes, I have props. I am wearing my Lunch Lady robe, let's say, gown. And this is perfect for having the most hygienic, maybe that's what they say in restaurants. I don't know, but I like to think of us here in the cafeteria of love. And I did receive some questions ahead of time. So in our community, we have a couple people who are in time zones right now that are really early in the morning or really, really late at night. So we're going to probably start with those, along with a general reading for January 31st, or I would say for this week, around what it is that the Dead Old Ladies want us to know about this time, what energies are here, what's available, what possibilities are here for you to be receiving more love in your life. So this is also a great opportunity to nourish any of those super dreams that you have in your life. So what is it that you have set in place through your focus, through your consciousness? Maybe you put it on a vision board. The Dead Old Ladies can give us a little insight about what we need to know around that too. Yay. So I will... Okay, yes. Casey says, I'm so here for the glasses, hair, apron. Yeah, I'm not wearing my hairnet, which I probably should be, but hands are clean. Everything's ready for our reveal. So what I love so much about doing these Dead Old Lady readings, let me just show you one of the decks. Here's a deck. This is one of my favorites. This is Betty. I named her Betty. She has a twin sister who looks just like her. And I love this because if you can see, they are filled with recipes. And these aren't just regular recipes. This is not like a cookbook at all. This is like the recipes that changed lives. These are the recipes that you looked forward to all year, to go to that holiday dinner and taste, Aunt Betty's famous Jell-O salad, right? These are the secret recipes, the ones that neighbors and other relatives were the envy of. So there's really such magic in the energy that comes with this. And the other cool thing about this is, as all of these decks are coming from Dead Old Ladies, that on the other side, what we know is that there's no fear. There's no judgment. There's no like frustration. This is the messages we receive are the honest truth. They're direct paths to more consciousness for you. So when you bring your question here, and if you're watching the replay, holding that question within you, because I guarantee you that your question will be answered, that when you're here and you have that question, that you're going to get the answer that will inspire the greatest possibilities in your world. So let's begin by pulling a card for January 31st, 2020. We're just going to see, I guess we could just go with Betty since she's right here. And then that'll give you a time for those of you who are here live to post your comments or send them over to me. And I will just start. I like to shuffle the cards just by rolling the recipe box. Did I not say 20? Did I say 2020? I probably said 20. If I didn't, 2021, we're 2021. And so shuffling them, bring your focus to what it is that you've been wanting to create this year. So this is going to give you inspiration. So what is that? We're in January. This is typically the time when we have clearly declared some things that we want in our life. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out a card. And let me tell you, sometimes the dead old ladies are like gentle as a lamb, like almost like they're handing you a fresh baked cookie with a glass of milk. And other times they're a little more like smack. You know what I mean? Have you ever had that with one of your grandparents or great aunts or something where they're just really direct? I had a friend who was a senior citizen and I would visit her in the home, and man, she had no problem telling me things. One time she said, Macy, your hair, it looks horrible. I was like, oh, ouch. Okay. Wow. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. Wow. Okay, everyone. So think about what it is that you are wanting to create right now in your life. And we just got the reading from Betty, pumpkin. And this is, it just says the utilitarian pumpkin. And wow. Okay, let's see. So this is literally talking about Halloween, talking about actually drawing the faces on the pumpkin, but then it's going into actually cooking the pumpkin. So cooking the pumpkin, if you're just joining, welcome. We're pulling a card for today, January 31st, 2021, for the week, for your vision. And it says, as the holidays approach with the need for extra baked goods, then pricking the pumpkins to allow it to be cooked and steam to come through. And okay, so wow. So then using that to make something, and it says bake it whole. So the thing that I'm getting is this real feeling, almost like that Cinderella pumpkin feeling. Like it's like this grand magical carriage. So how can you receive right now this energy of the magic that, I mean, this the magic of like the Cinderella story, and not literally. I'm not really getting it literally as much as, can you be aware? I think of the Cinderella story. Okay, she, didn't think that she was going to be able to go to the ball, and her sisters were really mean to her, and she had all this resistance, like it's not going to be possible, it's not going to be possible. And then through her asking for it, so the other day I actually just watched Into the Woods, and the musical as the movie, and she asked the birds to help her. The birds helped her. It got her to the ball. It like actually created her dress. So where are you? Where can you actually open up? So the energy they're showing me right now is to create even a bigger space of you, so that you can be almost like this big bowl to capture all of the ways the magic can come to nourish your super dream, to nourish those visions of what it is you want to create. It says bake it whole. So it's like including everything. There's nothing that needs to be an exception, or this probably can't happen, but this can happen. There's none of that. That this gets to be, it gets to be all of it. And it's really being able to include all of you, all that you are. So if there's anywhere where you are criticizing yourself, or feeling like you're not good enough, right now, letting that go. So it's funny because it's like the utilitarian pumpkin. It's like, okay, making this so like practical and efficient. And so know that too. Know that you being you is the most efficient way. If you're trying to go into all of these inventions of how you're gonna like make something happen, that there may be unnecessary complexities that become the barrier to you having it. What if you can just be the whole pumpkin of you, all that is you, all your you and all your glory, and let that be the magnet for what it is you're creating. Wow. Okay. Yay. I see a comment. I went back online and made some tweaks to my profile, and am I ready to date? Oh, that's a question. Okay. We'll put that one in there. I'm going to go to the two that were written, sent in, because I just really don't want to forget, because I will do that if I don't address it right away. So the first question for the Dead Old Ladies is, hi, Dead Old Ladies. I plan to move to a new country soon. I don't know where and I don't know when, but I want my friends and an in-person romantic partnership to be part of my new home. What insights do you have about my new home? I'm guessing like where and when. Okay, so let's see what they want to say about this. And for that question, I'm getting called to Lydia. So here's Lydia. And any of you who are out there who've been part of these readings before, if you are posing a question, please feel free to request your own card deck. You're welcome to do that. So this is answering this question about a new place to go. So we're connecting in with Lydia. We're connecting in with the question. So any of you out there who are you also kind of wondering, if you should go somewhere different, or it may even be related to something else. Like, should it be a different relationship or should it be a different job? So make sure that you're playing with this for you too. Okay, 1 minute as I'm pulling the card from Lydia. Ooh, wow. Okay, this is kind of funny. So, oh, wow. Okay, this actually has January 21st, 1955 as a date on the card, which I think is funny because it's it's January 31st today, but it's 2021. So we have some matching numbers. And it's actually called Hawaiian Freeze. And funny that this question was about where do I go? It does talk about home. It literally says home service on here. And it also says plain and fancy cooking. So Hawaiian Freeze, what is this? This is actually a beverage. So it's sugar and water and tea and lemons and pineapples and oranges all mixed together. And so, I mean, right away, I am getting, it's funny that it's like a warm place, Hawaii, and then a cold place with the freeze. And I'm not taking this as a literal thing. I mean, this question was about moving somewhere, but there is this sense of let's say, almost like a vacation destination type of a place. And this energy of, being in a place where people tend to go to it to go relax, to play, and that can be taken as literally a vacation type city, but it also can be taken as, okay, where would you like to go that has that kind of energy? That I mean, there are definitely cities in the world where things can be, it's hard to live in them. Maybe there's lots of traffic, maybe the weather isn't that great. So if you have this opportunity, the Dead Old Ladies are really asking you to consider in general, okay, what's a fun city? What's a city that you've been curious about? What's a city that like inspires you? And there is a feeling of this like, come hither. It's like this romancing. It's the city itself has this alluring nature to it. So look at, maybe look in travel magazines, maybe look online to places that match some of the characteristics and look for that kind of energy. Because I love it. It's like, it's plain and fancy. There's something really that has an energy of ease. It's not like overthinking it. And yet it's really delightful. Yes, and it's funny. There's a phrase on here, both clean and dependable. So both clean and dependable. So I see a place that is quite bright. Like there's actually like some sunshine that also functions for what you want to do. So not just, okay, this area is open for 2 months of the year and then it closes down for the rest of the year. But there's actually some, there's like commerce there. Yeah. Okay, cool. I hope that answers your question. And then the second question was really fun. And then we'll go to the ones that you posted there. The second question came in, and this one, okay. What do the Dead Old Ladies say about dealing with difficult and controlling exes? Wow. Okay. I sense already that they're going to be yelling. Actually, I think this is a job for Molly Brown. So if you haven't met Molly Brown is the one recipe box that looks like she sunk to the bottom of the sea and stayed there for a really long time. She's probably and typically she likes to go to the harder questions. And this is kind of a serious question. So let's see. Let's just rotate her. The other thing about Molly Brown is that she has a really stinky smell. So when I open her up, I got to go in and get out as fast as possible. So let's see what she has to say here. And I'm going to open her up, go in, and come on out really fast. Woo! Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to find one of these recipes. Okay, so Molly actually is bringing up sugar cookies. I love making sugar cookies, personally. Interesting with this question. So, one moment. So the question was, what can I do about controlling exes? This is very interesting because I'm getting literally they're showing me this, like this woman dealing with her ex, and she's absolutely as charming as ever. Like she's just working from the place of ridiculous joy and like a saccharine sweet mindset, like attitude, like really from the place that, you know what, like being so kind that nothing can derail you from that. So what can you do with controlling exes? Well, first of all, they're also telling me, well, when you know that that's the case, then you get to use your own womanly powers to combat that and doing whatever it takes. Because when you're dealing with someone who's controlling like that, they're going to do anything that they can. They're going to lie, they're going to manipulate. And so you also have to be aware of that and do that too. So if you have to, use some of your sort of magic and mystery, and I guess the point here is if you're dealing with a controlling person who's manipulative and is probably lying and doing all this crazy shit, you can't not do that too. So you got to be aware of it. Doesn't mean that you have to show up as this crazy bitch. You can be so sneaky and sweet in the way that you do it. And it may actually be, and notice what's going to be the greatest benefit. If you're reacting to everything, that's probably what they want you to do. So just be aware of what is required and do that, because as women, we do have our own super powers of manipulation that we can use in our favor. So, I know we've been trained to like be good and tell the truth and be really honest and upfront and all of these things, but there are plenty of cases where you need to be even smarter than that. So like way smarter than basically the abuser. So use that sugar. Yay. Okay, so let's go back in here. Hey, okay, next question. I went back online. Dead old ladies. Dear dead old ladies, I went back online and I made some tweaks to my profile. Am I ready to date? Well, what do you know about that? First of all, I'm going to go in and pull out Anne. I haven't used her that much. She's dusty. Oops. Anne, who has this big pig on her. I love her. She's really cute. She's got this like different style. I'm not going to turn her, but I'll pull a card for you. Am I ready to date? You've tweaked your profile. Am I ready to date? How many people are in the space in that part of the process in SuperLOVED? The Am I Ready to Date is right at the beginning of what I call phase 2. Phase 1 is when you're doing the inner work, you're getting to the bottom of that self-awareness, the self-knowledge to know, okay, who am I and who's the best person for me? And then that's when you then can start working on your profile. When you do that, then you're ready to date. So I'm wondering how your profile is feeling. So I'm going to jump in here, pull out a card. Whoa, okay. I haven't read very many things from her. Oh, this is funny. Okay. All right, so we got sauce for fruit salad for this question. Am I ready to date? I just did a few updates on my profile. Orange juice, honey, lemon juice, handful crushed fresh mint if available. So I am getting from the dead old ladies are like, yay, good job for tweaking your profile. They're celebrating you for going back in and having the awareness that you wanted to kind of freshen it up. They're also, so sauce for fruit salad. So this is going to be something where anytime you're adding, okay, I shouldn't say all the time, but right now, the sauce for the fruit salad, this is something that's going to bring out the flavors. It's bringing out the flavors. So if you're not sure if you're ready to date and you've tweaked your profile, you can look at your profile and go, okay, now does this bring out the best of my flavors? Go look at your profile and what you just did and just ask yourself that. Does it bring out the best of your flavors? Is it showing who you are? Is it actually sharing what it is you love about life and how you do you in life? And is it then becoming this really kind of sweet invitation for your person for people who match that to lean into you? So you might want to go look at it and see if there's anything else or not, because it really is that freshness. The other thing that I'm getting from them is they're just reminding you to don't be afraid to do that on a regular basis. Like as you're in the process of dating, there may be things that come up after meeting someone or going on a date that are revealed that tell you, wow, you know what? I actually really do care about this thing. And I didn't necessarily say that. And I'd like to say that. So then letting it always be a dynamic profile as you date and discover new things about who your person is and even about you. So I hope that was helpful. Awesome. Yay. So let's go to the next question and comment. You know, if you're on the live, definitely share in the comments if there's something about that, whether it's your reading or not, if that was helpful for you, because that really gives me a lot of good awareness. Okay. So here's another. Dear Reverend Lunch Lady and Dead Old Ladies, how can I use my talents to create a positive impact both in my life and in other people's lives? How can I use my talents to create a positive impact both in my life and other people's lives? How many of you are in that space where you're kind of wondering the same question? So I am reaching over. This is Clara. And we'll just spin this. And who else is in a space in your life where you're looking at this new year and kind of having the sense that you want to live more on purpose? Yay. Hi. Great question. Thanks for commenting. Okay. Yeah, this is a great question. So I am diving in. Wow. Okay. We got a couple recipes. Well, this is an old one too. Okay. So we got some clippings. One is ham and egg pie. And then the other one is jellied ham mousse. Of course, right? Wow. All right. So, yikes with jellied ham mousse. But how beautiful. Okay. So the immediate thing that I'm getting is to tune into, because I don't know about you, but when I am in relationship with jellied ham mousse, I get a little bit like, whoa! There's a little bit of like a gaggy thing happening here, like, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing, because they're instantly showing me, like, where is it in your life that you've had the biggest challenge? Like, what has it been for you? Because when you can go to that place, we know this, like when you can go to that like jellied ham mousse, that spot where you just were like, no, I don't even want to tell anyone about it. I don't even want to put a fork in it. I don't. When you can actually be with that part, everybody else has had a jellied ham mousse in their life. And there are people out there who are afraid to ever say that they stuck their fork in it and they don't know what to do. And if you can get to that place where you're like, you know what? Yeah, I've had jellied ham mousse in my life before, and move it into, which this is a beautiful thing, like move it into this ham and egg pie, which is a lovely gift to the world. Like, it's a very nourishing, complete, beautifully displayed, basically it's a quiche, but they didn't call it that. But it's, well, it actually isn't a quiche, but because it's a pastry, not a pie crust. But anyway, it's a pie and it's lovely. Like, when you can take that jellied ham mousse and you're taking that ingredient of ham and you're making it into the gift that you're giving the world, this ham and egg pie, then you are being the solution for someone else. You are being the hope. So it is going to be your question to ask yourself, because you're saying, how can I use my talents to make a great positive impact? Bring it through how you've had overcome challenges. Like, I'm guessing that a lot of your talents are things that that came from a really deep place in your life. Like, so for example, for me, like in the relationship space, for me, that was always a tricky thing, with my own self-confidence and not feeling good enough and feeling like I was too much and really believing so deeply that I was too weird. That often came through, like how I would like work with that and be present with that came through doing art and theater and making things. And that was one way that I could express it. So I'm not sure what your talents are specifically that you're working with. But we've always heard the mess is your message, right? Yeah. And the mess in this case, in dead old lady speak, is jellied ham mousse. And yet, like, how does that become the ham and egg pie? And really being able to share your story, share what it is that this has brought you, and to help other people not feel so alone. And it's going to be a combination of things. And you may have like an obvious talent, like I'll just give an example, like of being an artist, and you may have your shadow of maybe, overcoming some, illness or emotional challenge or whatever the thing is. And those things may come together to be able to be something where you literally help people transform through your unique process. I hope that was helpful. That was kind of cool. Okay. So looking here to see if there's any other questions. Who else has a question? If you haven't asked your question, do so now. And if not, we'll move on. But if anyone's watching out there and you've wanted to do your own private reading, you absolutely can do that. The other thing that you can do is if you, I know we're in a special group here, but if you are wanting to have that one-on-one support, whether it's coaching or getting a reading, please reach out to me so that we can do that together. Yay. Okay, here's a question coming. What's your question? And I think it might be Karen from finance. This is her. She's like so itching to play. She wants to play. So this is Karen from finance. We didn't talk to Dolores today either. So this is Dolores. Who else do we have? We do have Big Bertha here. Big Bertha, just giving you a tour of all the ladies. We met with Anne. Oh, we did not talk to Tina. This is Tina. So we also have Diane in the back. And we have Betty's twin sister, who I've just nicknamed New Girl. Okay, here's the question. Dear Dead Old Ladies, I am in a super low activity mode. I was working on having less work, and now I'm in the slacker vortex. Help, Dead Old Ladies. Yank me out of my jammies and into some sparkly awesomeness. Wow. It's so funny that Karen from finance wants to answer this question. Yes. Okay, was that the question? I'm still on a family Zoom, but I wanted to ask a question. What do the Dead Old Ladies have to suggest for my upcoming unique personal recipe for love? I'll listen on the replay. Okay, that's two different people. Okay. Anyway, okay, so I will definitely answer that, and we'll start with Dear Dead Old Ladies. I was working on having less work, and now I'm in the slacker vortex. Help. Okay. Awesome. So, and then we'll definitely get to the other question. All right. So, Karen, what do you want? And Karen's not a Karen. You know how people talk about Karens? Karen is so not that Karen. Anyway, okay, so we are going to dive in. Pull out a card. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Sometimes the Dead Old Ladies have funny relationships with people. Anyway, you got sticky buns. Maybe you've gotten this before. Anyway, all caps, they're totally yelling. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let rise till double. Oh my God. Punch down and rest for 10 minutes. Divide in half, roll in half. Oh my God. Brush, roll. Can you feel what I'm feeling? Cool it. Wow. Blend, pour. There's just a lot of, okay. So I'm working on having less work, and now I'm in the slacker vortex. Help. Really, they're actually literally showing like sticky buns, like your butt is like stuck on a chair, and they're asking you to just really get do move. They're just asking your body to move. Like, what can you do to just really move? Like, when you can move, and sometimes I like to call it with coaching, it's just like change rooms. Like, when you want to change your mood, change rooms, move your body. Like, when you can get these things going, like hang upside down, like do something that's going to be completely different than the energy that you've been holding. And also, like, it's okay to have sticky buns every once in a while. So sometimes part of the thing that kind of creates the paralysis of not having a change is that we go into judgment. Like, I should be doing more. I should be more sparkly. I should be blah, blah, like all of that. And then that just locks it in. Let go of any of those judgments and then just start moving your body in ways that are fun. Take a walk. I mean, they were like going all over the place, rolling and rising until double, punching down, like a lot of different things, brushing. There's a bunch, but they're really yelling. So the other thing that I'm getting is, how can you use your voice? What is that about? Like, there's something with speaking, singing, maybe, I'm getting like a singing, reading out loud, something like that. Okay. Hope that was helpful. Sticky buns. Sticky buns are surprisingly active. So the sticky bun part is really this feeling of like, oh, should be different. I have sticky buns. If I had $1 for every time I heard that, I've had $26. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. That's a good recipe. All right. Cool. Another comment. Karen is not a Karen. Yeah. Okay. So funny. Okay. Okay. Here's the next one. Dear Dead Old Ladies, what do you suggest for my upcoming unique personal recipe for love? Wow. Okay. So on the replay, this is at 42 minutes. Let's pull your card. I'm getting a Big Bertha. So we're going to invite Big Bertha to share for your unique recipe for love. I love this. And you know, one of the things that can be really fun to do is to do a personal spread. So for those of you who are not already working with me one-on-one, if you're listening to this in the future, that this is something where, we can do these things together. All right. Okay. Here's your personal recipe for love. Oh, wow. There's 2 here. Okay. Potato pancakes and old-fashioned griddle cakes from Big Bertha. So this is a really good sign. You know why? Because when I get these 2, when someone asks about relationships, they're just validating right now to me that this is a relationship. There's 2 recipes. There's you plus him. And they're very matched. This is also really cool. They're both cakes. So so interesting. Okay. All right. So potato pancakes and then old-fashioned griddle cakes. So the energy that I'm getting is to be willing to take things slow. I don't know if this has been a challenge for you in the past, but one of the things they're inviting, which is really kind of interesting because this is the exact energy that has been created with the pandemic. So being able to have that kind of old-fashioned kind of love where you take the time to get to know someone, where, you know, you're really aware of what you value. Like, does this person align with your values? There's a little thing that says old German dish. The other thing is there's a date on here, 10/20/87. Just throwing it out there in case those mean anything to people. But the way they're showing you in this is that it's going to be very important for you to do whatever you can to really master that love mindset, that love attracting mindset, which is one that means that the way you are talking to yourself, the way you're showing up for yourself is kind, because it's saying that there's 2 eggs well beaten in there. And that's like, whenever I get that, it's just like a lot of the beating yourself up, a lot of the judgment, a lot of that kind of like sort of self-loathing behavior. And this is critical for you to be able to step outside of that and learn how to do that. That's why, you know, the work that I do can be a lot hard for a lot of people to step into, because they have this misunderstanding that this love relationship should just show up, should just happen. Like, if it's meant to be, it'll just happen. And look at all these people who have had it so easy. And now I don't know how to do it. And there must be something wrong with me. That whole thing, let that go, because this work is about actually getting the skills, getting the mindset, having the tools, being able to be skilled at creating relationship. So they're really reinforcing that that is the key to success. And then being willing to take things slow. So it does make me wonder if you've had experiences where you've kind of gotten swooped away in relationship. And so they're just kind of like, hey, pulling the reins, let's slow this down a bit so that, you know, you can really see who this person is. Was that helpful for whoever asked that question? For your personal recipe, post in the comments. I don't think you're here anymore. But who else had that question, though, who wanted a personal recipe for love? And that was like, wow, yeah, I'll take that. And then here, I think we're heading to our last question. This is, dear dead old ladies, I'm trying to stay open and not be in avoidance mode when a candidate man reaches out for a call. How do I ground myself? That's a really good question. Okay, let's see who wants to. Let's talk to Dolores. We've actually talked to everybody. So here's Dolores. Dear dead old ladies, how do I stay open and not go into avoidance mode when a candidate man reaches out for a call? How do I ground myself? Okay, we'll see what they want to say about that. Dolores is totally wacky lady. Oh, this is very unusual for her to have like a regular recipe. Okay. Of course, I have no idea what this recipe is. This is also very typical of Dolores. So this is like a bunch of things that I don't know what it is. There's butter, there's vanilla, there's eggs, there's flour. There's some raisins. I mean, it is okay. It is a kind of cookie. Okay. It's a cookie, but it's at the bottom. So they wrote the recipe at the bottom. That's really funny. So it's like, this is the recipe, and this is what the recipe is, and it was folded up. So, okay. So here's the thing. Like, if something looks really complicated, I just want to give you permission to maybe ask the sense of avoidance if it's actually just an awareness that this person is just not interesting to you. So that's going to be really powerful, because so many times we think, oh my God, maybe I'm doing it wrong. But what if, and I don't know, because it can be different. It could actually be that there's some fear and barriers coming up that keep you from wanting to take the next step, or just not being used to that kind of process that makes it feel hard to lean into. But I'd also really ask you to check, okay, is this my fear or not knowing what to do, or is this that I'm not actually interested in this person? So that would be the first thing, because that's going to be okay. So you're saying, I think that it is my hesitation. Okay. So then just a reminder with that, like when you're like engaging with someone, like for the first time on a call, just connecting with someone, remember that's it. Like, it's just a connection. It's not locking you into a lifetime with this person. It's not making you committed to even another call or anything else. Like, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. And just, if you're noticing that and you discover it's just like, I'm just nervous about it, then are you willing to just let yourself be a little awkward and nervous about it? So so that's kind of most of it, actually. I would just keep reminding yourself that whatever you've decided that having a call with this person means, it's likely a misunderstanding. Like, it's likely that you may have made it so like significant. So are you willing to take all the significance out? If this was just even like the Amazon guy calling and saying, is your porch on this side or this side? You would just be like, oh, hey, yeah, it's on this side. And you just have a casual conversation, that is not significant. So I'm using I've never had the Amazon guy call me before, but anyway, I'm using that as an example of the kind of presence that you can play with, where you take off all the heaviness, take off all the like, I have to get this right. Just be, just make it as like insignificant as possible, and know that, do you have a choice whether you have a call or not? You do. You don't have to do any of them if you don't want to. But if your goal is to learn how to connect, then it will take a little practice. And just, what if it's just practice? Cool. So whatever these cookies were, it says, oh, okay. It looks like it says corn Maxwell coffee cookies. I don't get the corn part, but I'm guessing the Maxwell is like Maxwell House coffee. Anyway. All right. Yes. Okay. There we go. That's our night in the kitchen. I hope that you got some insights. Please share in the comments if you got an insight from someone else's reading that was helpful for you, and just you sharing that can be really helpful for other people. Yes, training wheel dates, practice, awesome. Practice is how I'm going to think of the calls. Yeah, exactly. And, note it, remember any job thing that you've done. Like if you've had to lead a meeting, and remember those times when you had to do that before, or maybe when you've had to, depend on what kind of work you've done, or like just trying a new software, or, maybe that there is that feeling and that you've done it before and that you've gotten over it before. Awesome. Okay, you guys, thank you for being here. And I can't wait for next week's reading where we get to discover what's there. So awesome. Yay. Awesome. Oh, sticky buns was one. Sunday afternoons are great for this. Yes. I got it's supposed to be easy. Yes. Awesome. Find the ease. All right. Toodaloo, everyone. And we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.